Yes, people. Guess what we're making today? Wine workshop. So we're going to make it really quick. We're going to make this a crash course in wine making, specifically organic wine making. Here we got some lovely blackberries, the wild blackberries that we've just picked today from around the farm. We couldn't get too many, it's a little bit early, so this is what we've got. So we're going to bulk it all up with the pears, organic pears that we've picked today. So I'm just going to try and do this really quickly, really basic, so that you see what it is it takes to make organic blackberry and pear wine. Right, this is our blackberries. This is what we're making it in. All the blackberries in there. I'm crushing them all up. Just a little bit. Only needs to do a bit just to get the juices out, get all the flavours out. There we go. Alright, so we got the pears. So we just want to chop the pears into two, and we want to take off the little stalks at the end because they can not give such a nice flavour. So we're only planning to make probably 2 bottles of wine, maybe 2.5. So we're not making a whole lot, and I've never made pear and blackberry. I've made blackberry wine many times. One of my favourite wines. It's really organic, it's a real wild wine. It grows all over Europe, so you can go and pick it. Now is the time to go and get some blackberries, or in the next month. So it's a really good idea to just go out and forage and get yourself some fruits for free. So Michael was telling me earlier that there's a lot of vitamin C in blackberries. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Right. So we've got our fruits ready. We've got water that we've collected earlier on. This is from our local spring. So it's very important, if you're making any wine or beer at home, if you use tap water, it's never going to be organic. A lot of people don't think about that. So you have to use spring water in any of your home brews in order to make it organic. So I've not washed the blackberries because there's a natural yeast on wild fruits which helps with fermentation. So this is yeast that I've bought from my local shop here, and there's 2 pouches. You may find that you buy the same thing. Number 1 and number 2. Let's open number 1. Number 1, if you can just see that, I'll put a little bit there. You want to film that, Michael? That's the yeast. That's a living bacteria. Number 2 is what they give you in the packet. Take a look at the difference. What does that look like? Chemicals. That's sulfates. You don't need to put that in. Throw that away. You don't want to put sulfates in any home brew you make. It's a preservative and it won't be organic. This is the stuff that gives you a big hangover. I mean, all the supermarket wine, all the supermarket beer, Heineken, Budweiser, is full of that. So can you just film that one more time, Michael? Do you really want to be taking that into your body? So we're just going to throw that. This packet I throw in the bin because it's not good for anything. You only need yeast. So, sugar. We've got all the fruit in here. A measurement, well, I didn't really say about measurements. I just do it all by eye. I would put in 30% sugar, 70% fruit, or maybe 60% fruit, 40% sugar. The more sugar you put in, the more strong the alcohol, the wine is going to be. So put that all in there, plenty of sugar. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of yeast. I always put a little bit too much yeast in because then you're sure that it's going to work. I forgot to mention this bowl is sterilised, so you have to sterilise it before you start. You can either do that with the sterilisation powder, boiling water, or you can put it in the oven, but it's very important that it has to be sterilised and clean inside, otherwise it won't make alcohol and you won't have wine, you'll just have fruit juice. So now the last stage, spring water, and I'm just going to put enough to cover the fruit and cover the wine, because the more liquid I put in, the less flavour is going to be in there. So I want this to be nice and strong. So as you can see, we're only making 2 bottles of wine here. Stir it up. Look at the flavour, look at the colour, look at the colour of that already, lovely, huh? Nice and purple. So, you now need to seal this from the air. I've got this lid which fits perfectly, so I'm just going to keep that on there, and I'm going to put a plastic bag over this and tie it up. And that's it. I'm going to leave this now in a cool place, and in 4 or 5 days, depending, it's quite warm now, so the temperature's nice, it's all going to be alcohol. And then I need to strain it with a cheesecloth, take all the fruit out, so I just have the liquid, and then I'll leave that for another 5 days, maybe a week. Let all the residue, all the fine particles inside the wine float to the very bottom, then siphon it out and put it into a wine bottle, and that's how you make wine. Maybe we can do another video when we filter it out and show the guys how exactly you're going to then filter it and put it into your wine bottle. But that's your basic way of making wine. You can do it with any fruit. It's just sugar, fruit, yeast and spring water for organic wine. Have a great day.
Thank you.